I'm like, she's like, oh, I remember this taste. I'm like, Violet, kindly do not stop drinking stuff that people give you, right?
Absolutely.
The same thing.
Welcome to the Book Pottery Club podcast. I'm Jessica, and I'm from Canada.
And I'm Leah from Germany.
Together, we dive deep into the world of fantasy books, exploring new stories and universes. Join us on this reading adventure. Whether you're a seasoned reader or new to the world of fantasy, there's a spot for you right here at our club.
Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this exciting journey through fantastical worlds.
Welcome back to the Book Pottery Club podcast. We're your hosts, Jessica and Leah, and please follow this show on all your social media platforms at the Book Pottery Club. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. And let's start today's episode. So in today's episode, we're covering Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros, chapters 32 through to 46, including chapter 46. So Let's get started. You can just dive right in with chapter 32. So how do we even start this? Okay, so
yeah, it's like in the middle. So, just go on.
Yeah. Okay. So chapter 32, it's kind of getting good now at this point. So last week we were, I would say, a little bit critical. We were like not really. We said that the last 15 chapters were more or less a repeat of Fourth Wing, but from a second year's perspective. Chapter 32, we're finally getting something new. We have the scribes more involved. We have like some top secret missions. So in chapter 32, they break into the archives and they get the journals from the first riders, and they want to find out how the wards are built. So we learn kind of that Auric and Xaden are enemies, or their fathers were enemies, but to make it worse, Xaden killed Auric's brother.
Ouch.
So, like, I think that's not a good look. And Violet doesn't seem to be mad about this at all. And I'm like, Violet, you friends with this family. Like, she knows Auric. She knows the king's son. I'm like, you knew King Tari and you don't care that Xaden killed the brother? I was like, okay.
Yeah. Actually, you're right. Yeah. She's just like, he's my boyfriend. I must stand behind him. It's like, okay, sure.
No, that's good. And to make this worse, Auric, they like need Auric. They need royal blood to get through the wards to get to these journals.
Surprise. Yeah.
But Auric, they like were giving you a choice to help us, but actually they didn't give him a choice. They
Not
were
really.
like, you can either help us or like get like hurt. I was like, there's no choice here. Like, what are you guys trying to say? There's no choice for him. So, but Aric's like totally down. He's like, you know what? I'll help you because I don't like my dad, and I'll do anything to piss my dad off. So,
yeah,
that's where Aric's at. So now they're gonna go get the journals with Auric. He's on board. Now, I don't know if you remember this, but I didn't know Imogen's signet was to wipe short-term memory.
Yeah, I remember that. That was Imogen's power. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot that. So that's her signet. So, I learned that. And Jesinia, which we kind of call Jestinia's helping with the revolution. She's down to like, be a part of helping Violet get everything that she needs. Okay.
Yeah.
And then chapter 33 now, moving on. So they're down they're basically breaking into the archives. So they're in the archives and they're going past where Jesinia has ever been. And they have Imogen with them. They have Imogen with them to help wipe memories. And they're down there and they've like incapacitated some people, which I'm assuming Imogen is just going to wipe their memory.
Yeah.
And they like finally make it to this area where these books are stored. And to make like Arc's kind of like, you know what, Violet, you're not really my friend, because when they end up like right at the wards to go into this room where the books are stored, he like pulls Violet in with him. And I was like, okay, she made it. Like he had no idea Violet would make it. He didn't care. He's like, you know what, Violet, you're coming in. You're in this with me. So when they get through the wards, they're in this room and they have to like find the books. And Arc's like, my dad would not hide them. They'd be somewhere that they could be proudly displayed.
Yeah.
Blah, blah. Long story short, they managed to find these books in like them like so fast. I'm like, okay, good job, guys. Like, you know exactly where the books were in this library. Um, and then, okay, Rebecca Yarros gave us a hint here when they said that like they leave the wards with the books, and Jesinia gives them a cream satchel that only scribes use, and they put the books in the cream satchel. And I was like, okay, this means something because like there's no way she mentions that this bag was a specific color for a reason. And actually, it's true. Like later down, we find out that the bag got her in trouble. But
yeah, I didn't even notice that fact. I was just reading through. Yeah, I didn't notice, but you're right. Like, why would she mention the specific color of this one bag satchel? Yeah, good observation.
Yeah, I was like, okay, whatever. So, oh, and okay, so chapter 34, like moving on a bit. So we got the bag, we got the books, they're secured. We're gonna get out of here. We're gonna read them. It's gonna be good. But I think at the beginning it says that, or they mention at the beginning of chapter 34 that you can go mad if a dragon bonds in the same familial line.
That was interesting. Yes,
I was like, is that Xaden did that? Like, or Sigil did that? She bonded with the same family line.
Yeah. I had the same thought. Like, then I thought for a second maybe she did that already before that with Xaden's. I don't know. Was it his dad that Xaden was bonding before, or somebody else?
No, grandfather.
Grandfather. Yeah. I thought first that maybe this person got mad because she did it again, but then again, oh wait, no, she did it with Xaden. So little, I don't know, like theory or maybe a prediction I would love to come true, so that it maybe like goes in a different direction than other books in the fantasy realm, is that Xaden actually goes mad or gets mad, and then like Violet and Xaden. I'm still down for this lover to enemy trope that they actually separate. Then like it doesn't end in like endgame. Yeah, maybe. I wish that to happen, so it's a little bit different than other stories. I know you don't want it, but
I mean, it would be entertaining. I'd be pretty mad at the book, though. I think everyone would be mad at the series if they're not endgame. So, but I mean, it would be interesting, and Dain could go mad. Like that's pretty fair. And I think the only reason she mentioned that is to say that he could go mad. Like, there's no way that like she just randomly threw this fact in the book. So she could go mad.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So they have the books, and like Violet's like, oh yeah, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I was finished.
Okay. I was saying have the books. They have the books from the first riders on how the wards were created, and she's like, oh, like it doesn't look that hard. And then it says birth of an iron rain. They're created to the birth of iron rain. I was like, what does this mean? I was like, okay, what is iron rain? And to this day, we don't know what iron rain is. I'm like, what are your predictions? What's iron rain?
Good question. Because I was asking myself that like all the time when they were mentioning that a lot until the chapter we were reading now. I'm still thinking it might be her wielding power with lightning, because it's, I don't know, when I think of iron rain, I also think of Zeus, like he's also molding the lightning up in the skies, like in the old mythology stories. And it's also like he uses it like Ryron too, so it's always molding and hammering the lightning bolts. So that's what my guess, like it's her, like something hinting to her power raining from the sky, like actually a lot of lightnings. I don't know. What is your prediction?
Yeah, I honestly I think it has something to do with the dragons, but I can't figure out what it is. Like maybe they need dragon fire. I don't know. Maybe it could be like a signet, but you're right. It could be a signet. It could be violet signet. Could it be? I don't know. I don't know what it could be. Like I think it's related to a signet or dragons.
Yeah, definitely. So, that's 100%. But also I'm not sure. Still thinking hard about this. Like, what is Iron Rain? But we'll see. Do you think we will find out by the end of the book?
I'm not sure. And also the book's called Iron Flame. So like does
True.
Iron Flame make Iron Rain? Like
Too
what's
many
Iron
questions.
Flame? Oh, I think we said that was lightning too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Let's just hope the next 15 chapters tells us what Iron Rain is.
I hope so,
Um,
yeah.
okay.
Let's see.
This okay, so I have a question for you because I didn't figure
Mm.
this out while listening to it or
Okay.
reading the book. So Xaden and Violet separate. Violet's like, "Oh, you get one journal. I'll take
Yeah.
one journal." Are the journals the same? Are they the same or are they different? I couldn't figure it out.
Uh,
I was like, does each rider have a journal in this, or were they like copies of the same journal?
I think they're different because I had the same questions like, okay, why are you dividing it? But then again, they have like the same information containing in the journal. I think it's like just different perspectives of each of the journal. Let's say the 6 of them all experienced the making of the ward and they all noted it down in their journal. That's what I think. So it contains
Okay.
the same content, but it's just in their own words. So this is how I explain it. Like how I explain it to myself that they actually still get advantage out of one journal at least, even though they lost the second one. How did you understand it?
Yeah, so maybe yeah, that's what I understood as well. But maybe then like they need all the journals. Like maybe the
Mm,
other journals say it in a different way. Or like were these all the journals? So they have all the journals now? Or was one of
no,
them did they get the journal back that Varish had?
I don't think
No?
so.
Oh,
I don't. Or
okay.
did they? Wait,
Has to
I'm
be?
so confused. Like
I don't
actually
remember.
from these last chapters I'm a little bit confused because like so much information was dropped, but I think they only retrieved one journal at the end and the other one was placed back into the library, I think.
That's what I understood. That's what,
Yeah,
kind of what I thought as well. So I'm m- maybe the journals are different. That's my only theory. Either
I
like
guess.
Violet figures out what Iron Rain is, or they need
Mm.
the other journals to do it. So,
Ah,
um,
so you think the other journals are actually explaining what Iron Rain is? Like one is mentioning Iron Rain, but the
yeah,
other is
or
actually explaining what it is?
yeah, yeah.
Ah,
And it's like not even that, but like maybe like if you had all of them, you could figure out what it was, like the way they wrote about it.
yeah.
So the one that they have maybe wasn't the clearest. If they're different, which they, why would you steal the same journal multiple times? I mean,
True.
I don't know. I'm not sure if they're
Yeah,
the
yeah,
same,
yeah.
but um,
True, true. I don't think they're the same too.
so
Yeah.
so I think they need multiple journals.
Yeah.
And then I really like this part, chapter 34. This was good for me. I was like, finally
Yeah.
something like villainous is happening.
Yeah.
Nolan, okay, first of all, I was like, Violet, I just need to clear this. You have been poisoned with food and water like twice already in the last like 15 chapters. Nolan is going to offer you lemonade. That tastes weird. And you're gonna continue to drink it. I was like, she's like, oh, I remember this taste. I'm like, Violet, kindly do not stop drinking stuff that people give you. Right? It's the
Absolutely.
same thing.
She
Like,
needs an intervention, like sit Violet down to a chair and talk to sense to her to not take drinks from strangers. And when they taste funny, spit it out.
I was like, there's no way Nolan gave you this lemonade. Like,
Yeah.
Violet, come on.
It's but
Disappointing.
did
That
you
was so
expect
disappointing.
Nolan? Because that was a like I
No,
like that twist. I like the twist. So I wasn't expecting him.
I didn't expect Nolan, but I
Mm,
did know the lemonade was messed up. As soon
yeah,
as lemonade was
100%.
mentioned, I was like, this is a poison drink. Like, but yeah, I didn't think Nolan, I actually thought Nolan was on her side a little bit more
Yeah, me
than he
too.
actually turned out to be. So,
Yeah.
a little
Nolan
bit sad, to
Nolan
be honest. But
actually uh sorry.
it's okay.
Oh,
What did
okay.
Nolan?
No, I was just saying that the way Nolan behaved, that was the behavior I was expecting from Dain. like this, oh, I want to help you, I'm on your side, but also when it comes to leadership and all this constitution thing, I'm actually more, rather on their side than for you, even though we have like this friendship and so on. So I didn't expect Nolan to be like that, because he was helping her out of the interrogation room. So I was like, oh yeah, he's definitely on our side. Yeah.
And he's going against General Sorrengail in doing this a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
like, because
True.
Sorrengail is away. She's at
True.
another outpost, so I'm like, ooh, Nolan's getting in trouble. Um, so chapter 35.
Mm-hmm.
Violet is now going to be interrogated. Now, I will preface this by saying we had all this interrogation training, and I was like, I'm like, we kind of expected this, no? Like, she
Yeah.
goes through this interrogation training, and then she actually gets interrogated, and I was like, okay, like, sure, makes
Yeah.
sense. But we learned about a new signet, Truthsayer,
Yeah.
Truthsayer. I don't know. So yeah, Truthsayer is a new signet, and then they can tell if you're lying, but you can say like half truths and it still works. Um, yeah, I'm spelling this is messed up. So Violet's mom is in Caldir, and Varish is left at the school without supervision of Violet's mom
Mm-hmm.
there to protect her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and basically, Violet gets Nolan is suspicious of Violet because she's carrying the satchel of a scribe.
Mm-hmm.
And we learn in 35 that they have like detections on wards. So Markham knew that a ward had been tripped, which I'm like, you guys didn't expect that either. Like, I definitely think
Yeah.
that they would know if you went into like certain parts of the archive.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn it, this makes it even funnier to me. Did they not know that the ward has like this royal, like you need to have royal blood to get in? Like, did they not know who Arik is? Is Arik still a mystery at this point? That's what I'm confused about. Like, if he's the king's son, doesn't everyone know who he is? Like he must be popular or look like he's like, I don't know. I was like, nobody knows who Arik is in this whole thing.
Yeah, I was actually I asked myself that after he was like what, like a few weeks there already, even months. It's like, wait a second, don't people know like how first of all the sons of the king look like? Like even by that, just recognizing him. I think he changed his name. I think Violet calls him by his real name, but then tries not to. But like still, like he can't change his whole look and face. Uh, and I don't know, like also King Tori still hasn't said anything, even after like a few weeks of him going missing. So I think,
Being
oh my
missing?
god,
Like, come on. You
I got an idea. I got an
what?
idea. Okay. What if,
Okay.
like, that's
What?
already taking into account the rest of the chapters we read so far. They're always mentioning that they can't believe how easily they got away from Basgiath. Like, oh, they didn't shed any blood. They were just, they were a little angry, but they never really pursued them or anything. And it was mentioned a lot. So I feel like there is a betrayer, or how do you say, a traitor in the group that is spying for Basgiath.
Yeah.
And that might be Eric. Just
Ooh.
realize it now, because
Ooh, yeah.
King Tori didn't set like hasn't done anything for his own son, and he was super annoyed by his first son to die by getting into the Rider Squad. So that happened.
Yeah.
Also, he is the new character, and he does have a
Oh,
how do you say that, a motive, because he could just act like he would try to
yeah.
help people, but he's still the king's son, he's still royalty and from the leadership. So I hope it's Eric. It would bring another villainous aspect to it. I would, yeah. What do you think?
That's good. I just wonder about the dragons. But it's not to say that the dragons couldn't be spying as well, because he's bonded to a
Yeah.
dragon. So,
Yeah.
like, maybe the dragons are spying. Oh,
Oh,
yeah, I would like Art to be bad. Let's do it. And he's like he's like, oh, I'm against my dad, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, are you really? Are you really? So,
let's see.
okay,
I hope.
this is good. I like this.
Yeah.
But he's evil too. Let's go with that. Art's gonna
Okay.
turn out to be a traitor and is spying for his dad. Prediction.
Deal.
I like this. I don't know if I like deal. I don't know if I like this from chapter 35 or didn't like it, but she starts to hallucinate Liam.
Uh-huh.
And I was
Yeah.
like, can we get Liam back? But,
Yeah.
so
I
Liam
don't
is like
know.
her personal support person in this interrogation.
What do you think about it?
So,
You don't look like you're impressed by it.
it's nice to see Liam again, but it wasn't actually Liam. I was like, okay, this is the person that you picture when you're gonna break, so it was okay.
But what if he was actually there? Like, this Malik thing is real. Like, I thought it was just maybe gods that were invented by the leadership. But then again, Jack Barlow came back and he said, something like, well, when you're like in front of Malik, you change. So the gods are real, and maybe Malik, I don't know, was projecting Liam, like actually Liam, to Violet in that moment. And that's why he felt so real. I don't know, like that would be an option.
So it could happen.
Yeah, I don't
That
know.
could happen, like, because we don't know, like, they have magic. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good take. So we're not mad that Liam's there.
Yeah.
Well, and they don't know why Violet wants to learn about these wards. And I was like, okay, so they don't know why she wanted the journals, basically. And she wants the journals for the wards. So they kind of don't really know what Violet's up to. And Violet was able, and then we learned Varish's signet finally. Varish's signet is the ability to see people's weaknesses.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's a pretty good one, I guess.
But did you expect it?
But Violet,
like,
when she's connected.
Oh, sorry. We have a time lag. Sorry. No, I was just asking, like,
yeah, it's okay.
Did you? So bad. Did you think, or did you expect something better, like more badass, or like how did you feel about his signet?
He was kind of lame.
Yeah, right. Thank you.
Like, everyone could guess Violet's weakness.
Yeah, it's like right on her face. I don't need a signet for that. I don't know. Like I thought, I was thinking like, oh, what could it be? What could be like really badass? Like make him a bad person, and then it's that. It was like, ah, okay, well, all right. Yeah, moving on. Just wanted to hear what you
Top
thought about it.
secret, so you don't ward around him.
Yeah.
No, Varish's signet's a no for me. Also, people can just shield him like out. So Violet could just put a shield up and he couldn't see her weakness.
Yeah. I don't know. Weak signet for me. But yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah. Like it's fair to argue if you're like a older rider, you'd just be able to shield him out because I'm sure all the people that are older are really good at shielding.
Yeah. I don't know.
So
kind of lame.
So and then Vanish and Dain, I actually don't understand this relationship. Like, how is Dain signet similar to Varish's? So that's why it's not really the same. I guess like
not
Varish
really
is teaching him how to see people's weaknesses in their mind. So,
but yeah, but then again, like he doesn't have to touch people or something like that. He can just see it, right? So I also don't get why he's his teacher because he has to actually go and I don't know, like go and search in the mind and touch people. Like it seems more like a I don't know. I agree. It's I don't get the connection here either.
No. But Dain, this guy, I was like, Dain finally being evil. Dain is here to interrogate Violet. However, Dain wasn't that evil for that long. He read her mind, and then I didn't get. So he read her mind, and he like saw all the stuff, all the secrets, everything, and then he's like, you know what? Actually, Violet's my friend, and stabs Varish.
I don't know where.
Dain? I don't know where. Like, I was not ready for that. And then I also didn't expect that Xaden's gonna show up like right at this time too.
Yeah.
Like Xaden shows up right when Dain stabs Varish, and Xaden kills Nora, the truth sayer. And I was like,
well,
it just felt, like
say
fast.
It. Yeah. Oh, wait.
Fast. I don't know.
You think it was fast? I thought it was like, oh, why did it take so long? Like, why was Xaden and Dain? First of all, it was happening fast. Like Xaden like showed up right away after Dain. But like, why did it? Like, why? How do I say it? Why did Xaden took so long to get there? Like 5 days or something.
He didn't know. Because he didn't know. Because of the 1 week separation.
Never mind. True. Sorry, Xaden. Okay.
Sorry, not sorry. Chapter 36. So Xaden's there. So wait, oh yeah, I did this. So Xaden is here, and Violet ends up killing Varish. So Dain stabs Varish.
Yeah.
So and then they kill Varish, and then they're like, "Okay, what do we do? Go back to class?" I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
Like, I didn't do anything and just go back to class. And so they're like fleeing, and then Violet's mom is now here. And Violet's like, okay, Violet's mom's back. Everyone showed up on the same day to help Violet. So Violet's mom is here. She says she has the antidote to this bond inhibiting potion thing.
Yeah.
So Violet's like, I don't trust you, mom. Like, you lied to me. There's no way you're actually here to help me. So she gives her the vial anyways. And Xaden has been like fucking around lately because when he was doing while Violet was in prison was dropping wyvern carcasses at all the outposts. That was badass. And I was like, okay. That's good. I was like, this is good. This is like this is what I've been waiting for. Like, that's a move. Like, deny it now.
I like that too. That's how I expect Xaden to behave like all the time, to be honest. Like, to be this, I don't care about anything and anyone, just doing my own shit. I don't know. Like, more of that Xaden, please. I like it.
Yeah, me too. I was like, yeah, this guy doesn't care at all. And then Violet's mom gives us some truths here. So we learned a little bit about Markham. So Violet's mom obviously knows about wyvern. But we learned that Markham, probably evil, as predicted. He thought that Violet would actually be a really good scribe because she could keep up with all the lies about these wyvern and Vannon and Bromiel and all of these different groups. She thought she would be able to intertwine all these lies and lie to all the people. But Violet's mom was like, Violet could never do this. Like, Violet is not this person. She would always rebel and would never be okay with like not saying the truth.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
and then
in that
yeah. No.
No, just in that moment we finally like she drops her the very reason we were all asking ourselves in the very first chapter, like, why did she put her own daughter in the Writer's Quadrant? And like, that was the reason. But I don't know why again, but like I expected something else, I guess. I don't know, like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. No, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was with the theory that we had earlier that Violet, she said all Sorrengails are riders. I was like, there's some bloodline, there's something here that makes Violet have to be a rider. but it's just her mom protecting her.
Boring.
Lame. Like,
It's
give me
lame.
some really big conspiracy as to why Violet had to be there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I expected that. Like, some dropping secret, like her purpose was, you know, it was her destiny to be a writer, but then at the end it was just, I don't know, her mom pokering that she might survive more, like more chances in the writer's quadrant than the scribe one. So, oh, okay, cool. I take that too.
I didn't take that because there's like you put your like physically weak daughter in the writer's quadrant and think she'll survive. Oh, actually, we figured out why she knew Violet would survive. So she made a deal with Xaden that the rebellion children would be safe.
Yes.
And would be given access to the writer's quadrant only. And then she had one favor from Xaden, and that favor was now like she went to Xaden and was like, you have to look after Violet. Like,
true.
Violet has to survive in the writer's quadrant. So that's why.
I remember.
This is why Xaden was good to Violet. This is why he didn't kill her with the potion thing. Why he didn't kill her on parapet. Why he didn't kill her on the mat. So this is at the beginning. This is why he didn't kill her. So I'm like, okay, this is fair. I like this. I like this take a little bit more.
Yeah, true. True. I completely forgot that fact that he was like his guardian angel in secret. Yeah. Okay. Makes sense then. Why she was okay with her daughter being there. Yeah.
And I want to ask you this question. Okay, so they knew someone was stealing weaponry from Basgaia. So do you think Violet's mom just didn't go after Xaden because he was keeping Violet alive in the Rider's Quadrant?
So you think his mom, that Violet's mom knew?
She knew someone was stealing weapons. So who are the people that are going to steal weapons from Basgaia?
Ah, okay. Okay, I didn't catch on that one. But yeah, I think definitely because of the deal. Because she is, I wish that that's how she thinks. She's still a mother and would protect her child. So I guess she was trying. She was how you say it, turning an blind eye on the fact that she kind of knew it was the marked ones, but didn't pursue it.
Yeah. So, then okay, this chapter 6 was intense. So,
yes.
like, Violet basically kills Varish, escapes being imprisoned for like 5 days, finds Xaden, finds Dain, finds her mom, finds out that Xaden made a deal to keep her alive, finds out that they knew they were stealing weapons, and then they're like, you know what, Xaden, we got to make a decision. We got to let the cadets know that they can leave if they want to. And I was like, oh, what? I was like, okay. Like, Basgaia, our time at school at Basgaia came to an end abruptly. Like, it was like, boom, no more school at Basgaia. Basgaia is old news. Like, so Dain calls the formation, and so this was kind of messed up to me. They tell all of the cadets that there are Wyvern and there are Venom, and that they're killing Paromials, and that actually riders and flyers should be working together to kill Venom. And they no cadets don't really believe them, but they use their dragons. Like, they have the dragons share with the other dragons, which I assume they already did, but I guess not. Like, so not all the dragons knew about Venom, is what I understood. Like, okay, so not all the dragons knew, and then Tarn shares with all the dragons that, Venom exists, blah blah blah. And if the dragon chooses to share with the rider, then the rider can make a decision to leave. But some of the dragons chose not to share with their riders, and I was like, ooh, what does this mean?
Interesting. Really interesting. But
so,
just why? Like, what is the agenda behind the dragons not showing the riders? Like, I I don't know. What do you think?
They just want to live in the Vale without their wards, protected, not
Maybe.
fighting.
Peaceful dragons, Jess? You think so?
But war is coming.
Like dragons want peace?
They're anti-confrontational dragons.
Sure, okay.
Yeah, we'll go with that. So basically half the quadrant decides to leave. And Severa, the professor, we predicted some of the professors weren't bad. Some of the professors decided to leave and join the rebellion.
Yep. Surprise.
And on top of that, I don't know when they had time for this, but 3 scribes are coming. I was like, when did they tell the scribes? So anyways, Jesinia and the 2 people that helped are coming.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know where. Sure.
Yeah. No problem. 200 dragons and 101 riders decide to leave. Now, I don't think that's very many dragons. Okay, it is a lot of dragons for like the infrastructure that they have at Eratia.
Yeah.
However, if 100 dragons on average bond per year, then that's not very many dragons, 200 dragons. So
yeah, true.
Not all bonded dragons came. Right? So like some of them are unbonded dragons.
Yeah, 100%. Like half of them or not. Like 101 riders and 200 dragon makes like a clean 50-50 cut. But
yeah,
I'm just curious, like how many dragons are there in total? If they're in total only, let's say 300, then it's actually a lot of dragons leaving. But if they're like more than 400, 500 in total, then obviously like it's still a lot though. Then it's still half of the dragons. I don't know.
I think there are a lot more. Because if 100 dragons bond per year, like less, I don't know. I just thought there'd be a lot more because then, like, if 100 bond per year, then and there's some already in active duty, like, wouldn't there be more dragons available? But maybe not at the Vale.
Yeah, maybe you're right. They just want the peaceful days in the valley. They don't want to bond. They don't want to go to war. They just, want to be dragons.
And this is the end of Besgaia. This is like wrapping up Besgaia as a school. That's the end of part 1 of this book. So part 2, we're on to something new. Obviously, Besgaia is in history. Like, we got the journals. Actually, no, I would like to say I am very, very disappointed that our theory that Violet's dad had this whole conspiracy plan in the scribes convent that Violet had to like solve. That would have been a cool plot.
I think so too. I was like, maybe he's still coming up like in the last few chapters, but I don't think so. And it would have been cool to just have some, that like her father's influence from the past, like what did he do and his notes and stuff. You're right. Yeah, we predicted, but it never came true.
Yeah.
Pity.
No, it's sad. I feel like Besgaia was like the mission at Besgaia, like for you guys to have like this whole thing about how you were like killed by flyers and all this stuff, and then just to come back for not even like half each semester, half a year, and then just leave and like completely destroy the school. It just felt like too quick. I know we complain about it not being quick enough, but I feel like there should have been like a lot of underground planning. Like how it came to be was not my favorite.
Same. I do, but yeah, I have to say I do feel like the whole book feels really fast this time. Like I know it's fast paced, like the first book was fast paced, but still had some like it took its time to explain stuff. But here I feel like okay, now we got too much things happening, like so many just, things, and it doesn't feel like each thing gets enough time to actually, get into it. Like you said, I don't know. It's too quick suddenly. But yeah, let's see.
Yeah. So, okay. I feel like Besgaia, we had a lot of lost. Maybe Violet's dad will come back. I hope Violet's dad comes into play again.
Maybe.
Because the Book of Fables was such a big part of the first book.
Yeah, it's true.
Gone. It starts chapter 37, part 2, to the beginning of part 2. So Ryerson, it starts with Ryerson house has never fallen to like a land invasion. It was burned by fire, but Eratia and Ryerson house are pretty strong. Like strategically, they're really well located. And now we know they have a ward. So there's the potential that, or they have a ward stone. So there's a potential that wards could be in place in Eratia, which I think will happen.
Yeah.
And this is where you mentioned earlier, Arik came as well. So maybe a secret agent for evil within the ranks. And there's a little bit of turmoil at Ryerson House or at Inaratio because leadership is obviously pissed that they took half the cadets. Like these are half of your new riders. And the problem is that they took cadets. They didn't take riders. They took cadets, the riders in training. So they're not actually like a fighting squad. They're pretty not there yet.
Still missing a few years.
Yeah, like they're not quite ready. And Violet wants to secure a ratio with the Wardstones. And the decision they have is that they're going to start school again at Eratia. So they took all these cadets, and now we're going to start school all over again, but at Eratia. I was like, okay. And finally, Adarna wakes up. I was like, yeah, it's back in this too. We get her point of view. Chapter 38. We learn that Adarna's wing does not work fully due to her being forced to grow, and she'll never fly with a rider. This was good. This was like, okay, some drama. What did you think about Adarna not being able to fly?
I didn't expect that, honestly. I thought, because first of all, she turned into a black dragon, so I thought she must be like the third powerful dragon then that ever lived. Because first of all, I think number one is Malgrin, then Tairn, like Malgrin's dragon, then Tairn, and then her. But then suddenly, like, she is, like, I don't want to say crippled, but like, how do you say that? Like, I don't know the English word for it. Anyway, incapable of really flying, first of all, and then if she can fly, she can never fly with the rider, even though like she's a powerful black dragon. I don't know. It's just, it's cool, but I still like something is off for me because she's supposed to be like this really, really strong dragon. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with that. So, basically, I saw this interview with, or never mind. So Adarna's, yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm confused. Like, why? I feel like she should be able to heal it, no, or mend it.
Yeah,
Like,
like do something about it because she's a freaking black dragon, right? Like she should be able to do something, or the others, but I don't know. Like she's now, yeah, weird.
She's also weaker than she keeps growing bigger, I should say. Like every time they see her, she's larger and larger. So do you think she'll be the largest dragon? I was curious about this. Like will she develop her full size this quickly?
I don't know. That would go against like the whole, like it would make sense. It doesn't really come together for me. On one side, she's having issues with growing up, but then again, on the other side, she grows up to be bigger than the rest of the dragons, but can't fly with the rider.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think, yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know what will happen with Adarna. It's so confusing.
So my problem with Adarna is that how much does a rider weigh? Like it's not.
Yeah.
Like if you're huge, Violet weighs maybe like 110 pounds, like what, 50 kilos?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Like,
but
if that's gonna make or break it, like
maybe it's not her weight. Maybe it's what she has to do to protect the both of them when they're flying. For example, the maneuvers, she won't be doing like those spiraling downwards, actions, or be able to dodge stuff. So I think maybe that's the issue, because I don't know, like 50 kilo on a dragon's back, and then she turns out to be maybe the biggest dragon of them all. I don't think like the weight of Violet is a big concern here. It's more like she can't really protect herself and her rider then. Yeah, that makes sense now that I say it.
Yeah. So
yeah,
that makes more sense. We'll go with your theory on that one. Then school continues as normal. We have battle brief. We learn that all the cadets are sending letters to their family asking them if they want to come stay at Aracia to be safe. We learned that Violet's a little bit disappointed that Kaori stayed behind, which I'm sad Kaori stayed behind too. But he like really just cares about the dragons, like the Empyrean. Fourth wing, we learned that fourth wing flame section, so Violet section, the entire section came. So okay. And we learned that Chromiel actually attacked one of the outposts, because then Violet asked, like, is it before or after the cadets left Vazgaev? And it was after. And Chromiel now knows that they have no way to get weapons from Xaden anymore.
Yes. Yes, true.
That's why they attacked, yeah. And we learned that Count Takaris has a luminary, and he wants to see Violet's power to get this luminary. And then chapter 38, also a lot happened. Mira somehow shows up. So like what do they call it? What do they call a group of dragons?
A swarm? No.
I can't remember. A group swarm maybe? Yeah. Anyway, so a group of dragons is incoming to Aracia. And Mira is here because General Sorengale went to the outpost and told everyone the truth about Wyvern and Venom. And I was like, they did not do damage control. Savage is
not
right.
at all.
So yeah, like they were like, you can leave. Get this. They're letting their fighting squad leave. They're like, oh, it's less of a headache because they're gonna convince the other dragons to leave too. And I'm like, not necessarily. Maybe they'll get convinced to stay.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Anyways,
or maybe they have their
so this is weird. So
I don't know. Yeah.
So the dragons left because they chose to left. 40 dragons from Sumara are now at Aracia, and these are actually fighting squads because they're like they're posted dragons.
Yeah.
And then chapter 39. We forgot a little bit. So chapter 39 is kind of the start end of chapter 38. We learned that the blood of the six and one combined set the stone alight in iron flame. What does this mean? The blood of the six and one combined. This was at the beginning, like the excerpt. What does it mean? What is the blood of the six and one? Like, one is different. I understand when she's like, oh, we just need the six strongest riders.
That was so dumb. Like, even I figured that isn't the solution. Obviously, blood of the six, it has to be some special six. So I think it's more about the ancestry and the first six, obviously. So it has to be from their bloodline. So that's my guess. Which is, I mean, somehow super obvious to me. Like, it's not just this, right? And the one, it's like the one I can't, like for the life of me, I don't know what that means. Do you have any idea?
No, the one I don't. So the blood of the six, I get. Maybe it could be the blood of Mira. Okay. Also, on a random side note, Mira wasn't there when they tried to put the ward stone up. They just did the six most powerful riders. But I'm like, Mira's signet is to make wards. So you didn't include her in your blood of the six. And I'm thinking Mira could be the one because she has the signet for wards.
Wait, they didn't include Mira? Are you sure? Wait, who was it then?
Pretty sure they didn't. Brennan, Xaden, Violet,
yeah.
Sorry, I think.
Ah,
Sorry.
yeah. Yeah.
There was that other guy. There's one other guy, and there were two other guys, I think. I don't think Mira was there.
Oh,
Did you
why
remember
didn't
Mira
they
being there?
include her? I
Yeah.
thought it was Mira, but it wasn't. No, you're right. I think it wasn't. Huh.
So
But
yeah, that's what I said.
but if it's our theory, the blood of 6 of the first 6, it has to be from that bloodline. So if Brennan and Violet didn't work out, and they're all sisters or all siblings, then Mira also will not work out because they're all from the same bloodline, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it doesn't even have to
Maybe
do
our
anything
theory
with her
that Violet.
signet. Yeah.
Yeah. I think our theory about the Violet being from one of the bloodlines is right. I definitely think, yeah, we need the 6 founding riders. And
Yeah.
the one though, I'm not there with the one. And set
Me neither.
set the stone alight in iron flame.
I'm telling you, Jess, it's lightning.
We did learn.
Oh.
We did learn though, in these chapters that, yeah.
Sorry, I was just maybe they meant with the one that is able to set the stone alight in iron flame. So with the one is meant the one person who has the signet for doing this, whatever the secret signet is.
Okay.
Maybe that's that. I don't know.
Okay. Okay, that could be true. And we learned that Violet's signet isn't actually lightning. It's just wielding energy. It doesn't have to be lightning, I feel. Like I think they said that. Like it doesn't have to be lightning. That's just how she comes out with it, because lightning is pure energy.
Ah, okay. I somehow missed that.
Yeah.
But good to know.
I found that the second time. Yeah. So Violet's plan fails. They definitely don't raise the wards. I mean, this was like so like sketchy, her plan. I was like, dude, she's like mad it didn't work. I was like, Violet, this was like a limb. You really went out on a limb, thinking that they're not even the 6 most powerful riders in all of like all of like the place. It's just like at Erasia. And we see that Xaden says he doesn't want to get the luminary from Takaris because he wants to see Violet. Violet did not figure out how to raise the wards. And Violet and Brennan are going to go to Takaris together. Sorry, I got to backtrack a bit. Mira is mad that Brennan didn't tell her he was alive. I agree. True. For 6 years, Mira did not know that her brother was alive. I was like, Brennan, you messed up. So.
Yeah, I get it too. I get
it's
why
more or
she's
less
pissed.
Yeah. It's not exactly how I expected it there.
Yeah.
And then first ally. Okay, so then chapter 40, the little beginning part, we learn that the first ally of Ren Ryerson was Takaris, was Count Takaris. So this is history repeating itself because they need Takaris again, and Takaris helped with the last rebellion. So very interesting. I thought that was a really interesting take. And then Violet's training her signet, but no longer with Professor Carr. She's training, I can't remember his name. She's training with a new
Felix
teacher, and he doesn't want Felix, I think.
Yeah.
He doesn't want volume, he wants precision, which I'm like, this is a better thing to train anyways. Why did the Professor Carr just want volume? Like, if you can't hit your target, it's useless.
True. I wasn't even thinking about that until that point. I was like, oh, actually, he is right. Like, why was she training so pointless before?
Like, it was literally a waste of time. Like, you were just trying to get as much as you could, but you couldn't hit anything. Useless. In chapter 40, this is what I said. We learned that she's an energy wielder. And I do think she will not use lightning in the future as her power.
What do you think she will use then?
So I think she'll find some other way to use energy. Like there'll be something other than lightning to use as energy.
What are your guesses?
I have no idea what it's going to be, but I don't think she'll use it.
Okay,
Because there's no way they
interesting.
told her she's an energy wielder. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
And basically she has no control. Okay, and then Felix gives Violet a conduit to like channel her power into. Is this the placebo effect? Is this just like some random stone that doesn't actually do anything, but he's like, if you have this, you can channel your energy into it and you'll be fine?
No, actually, like, I'm okay. My thinking is based on the fact that I haven't figured out that she was an energy wielder. I still thought that she was a lightning wielder. So the conduit would make sense for me because you like in real life you use conduits and like how do you say it? Yeah, conduits for electricity and so on. So it for me in that moment it made sense that she has it and can actually let her lightning flow through it based on the fact thinking that she's a lightning wielder. You think it's a hoax? Like it's just placebo?
I thought about that. I was like, this is just 100% placebo, and if she thinks she can use it, I think it's gonna be some like Jedi moment where they're like, actually, you had the power within you the whole time, and that this was just like,
Back to Star Wars.
So,
okay.
Yeah, Star Wars, and then Felix tells Violet that she was wielding Xaden. So Xaden supposed to be like the unbreakable commander that doesn't listen to anyone, but Violet asked him to do something and he did it. I was like, oh, maybe she's a leader. I think it's true. I think like obviously he would have did something for Liam too, I feel like. Where do you know what I mean? Like I don't think I feel like that was like the wrong perception of Xaden. Like he is unbreakable, but it's not like he's like from the emotion we get is he's not unbreakable. Like I like the Wyvern dropping Xaden as the unbreakable leader.
Yeah. I don't know. I actually didn't like that part at all. I didn't like the comparison. Like she is wielding Xaden or like a person. It's just they're loving each other and obviously they do things for each other out of love. In that sense, everybody would be a wielder or somebody else. So I don't know. Yeah, I think he still has his own mind and still refuses more than often against what Violet wants to do. For example, if she's so good at wielding him, then he would let her go to Chikara's, but he's so persistent to not let her go there. So first evidence that she is not wielding him. I don't know. Anyway.
Okay. I agree with that one. And also, okay, then we learn then Violet goes to Count Takaris and Cairn said, you will not be happy with your welcome. Because he knew that Scale and Xaden were coming to Count Takaris' place. Like Cairn says half truths to Violet all the time. And I'm like, you're supposed to be a dragon, but he doesn't look out for number one at all, ever.
Yeah. I don't know. I knew it. When he said you will not be happy about the welcome, like, oh, for fuck's sake. Xaden is already there. Like, oh wow, that nobody predicted that. It was just, oh come on, like surprise me with something new.
But we did get something new in the next chapters.
True.
So Xaden was there. Like whatever. Xaden's already there, blah blah blah. Chapter 41. Count Takaris. So we're at Count Takaris'. Xaden's mad Violet is there. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Xaden knows the place very well.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, I did not expect this. This was a plot twist for me. I enjoyed this. Okay. So
same.
Catriona. Catriona cat, which we learned about from Brody. Brody dropped a little hint saying like Xaden hasn't blah 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 felt this way since Catriona. Well, Riona is at Count Dakaris because Count Dakaris is her uncle, I think. And
yeah,
she's making Violet mad, but Violet learns that Catriona is Xaden's ex-girlfriend. Did not expect
very
it.
interesting.
Plot twist
Yep.
for me.
Yep.
Very interesting. I was like, oh wow. Okay. I just want to preface this by saying, when did Xaden have time to hang out with Catriona? He was in school. What did he have time? Like when he was in
I don't
first year,
know.
he was what? How did he leave? He didn't have a dragon. Was it before he was a first year?
I think before. It would only make sense before because then he was living in
Okay.
Erashia and was more close to that. And also, you mentioned that they had history already doing deals with each other and helping each other. So I think during that time, they were doing like being together. And because they already were together because of the rebellion his father was leading. And then probably automatically they just,
Yeah.
fell for each other. Because you're right, like, how did he
Uh,
sneak off school in the first year or any year actually to see his girlfriend, which is a griffin rider flyer too? So the enemy, it would make sense. It only makes sense before he got into Basgad.
they were really young. I think he was like 16 when his dad was executed,
Yeah, it must be.
you know? So
Yeah,
he's,
you don't think
I
it
don't
was
know, he was
earlier than
kind of
that?
young then for, I think like he would have been 16. His dad was executed at 16.
So were they going to Basgayat right away after the execution?
No, but he lived with Liam at that count's house.
Ah, yeah, true. But then
Remember?
probably it happened at that time then, I guess. I don't
I have
know.
to believe. I don't understand how he could go beyond the wards and make it without a dragon. How do you get there without a dragon?
Oh my god, yes, he didn't have a dragon then. So many questions. True. Oh, maybe she was picking him up.
So it
Maybe
must
she
have been
already
second
had her
year.
griffin. Wait, you think it
Oh, I
was
don't know. It's too
just
many holes.
just yeah, so you think it was right before he met Violet? Ugh, ouch.
Yeah, I think so.
Ouch.
It's the only time he had a dragon, and
Mhm.
he was I'm confused, and he was stealing weapons for these people because we found
Yeah.
Purina at this place too. So
Ah.
okay.
It would
Anyways,
yeah, moving on.
and okay, this Count Karis's place is like I imagine a mansion. It has multiple
Yep.
pools. It has a butterfly garden. How do you have this with Wyvern flying around in Benin? I was like thinking about this. I was like, so they live in Basgaya and Eurasia, and these are just like these like dark like
Mm.
stone buildings, and this guy has like I'm thinking Spring Court. I'm thinking like Tamlin's
Yep.
mansion,
Yep.
and I like how does he have this?
I don't know either. Like he seems to
Right?
be like this little how would I say it? How would I say it? Like this weird guy that gets along with anybody because he's so twisted. So maybe he has his ways to keep
Yeah.
his kingdom alive. I don't know. Like
Yes.
otherwise I can't explain his abundance of a palace.
Me neither. I don't even know how he has money. Um, and then we learn about the flyers. Kind of we're learning about the flyers more. And
Mhm.
Dakaris wants to see Violet's power.
Yep.
Um, and we learn how he's going to see her power. So, hey, they take her to this area, and there's a chest. And he says this comment to Violet that if you guys these chests are worth more than the luminary. And we had the chest at Athbean that had Liam's family crest on it. What are these chests?
Yes.
I have questions. What are the chests?
True,
What
I
are
wasn't
they?
thinking of that connection. True. Maybe there are some special chests that I think, yeah, Xaden mentions that can hold something in midair. like inside the chest. I imagine like a little bit like a genie in a bottle. Like it can get really small, so it fits in the chest, and then it's held by magic in there. So I guess that's a chest that is really good for things you want to have with you that are valuable and portable. Which sounds like a benefit for me for Wenens. I don't know. Yeah.
Why is it worth more than the luminary? The luminary can make weapons to kill the venom.
Maybe it can hold all the venons in there. I don't know. I really don't know.
Maybe it can turn. Oh, okay, wait. I got a theory. You can hold the
Let's hear
venom
it.
in here, and you can
Okay.
mend the venom to being not venom anymore.
Oh. Oh, you think? Oh yeah, actually you might be right, because Nolan was trying to mend souls, and since they're losing their souls to power, they're like the only thing to mend actually for in a venom is a soul. Oh, very, very interesting. I like that idea. I'll go with it.
Yeah. Okay. And they're not gonna
Nice.
go on with this crazy thing. They're like vampires. They're like vampires, and if you get the top, like Sage, all of his pupils also become normal when you mend him.
Oh,
Like the Wyvern all
okay, that's
die,
nice.
but they're all
Yeah.
connected, and if you mend, okay, this is good. This is the chest. The chest, we're gonna capture the main venom, put him in the suspension chest, and we're gonna mend him, and we're gonna save the world.
Happy
So
ending for everyone.
that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Done. I
Very
like
good
this theory.
prediction.
This is a good one. Okay.
I think it's coming true. I
Perfect.
think you're right,
Moving
because
on.
yeah.
Right.
Let's move on. But it's good. It's good.
No. I would like to actually, I would like to add on. This is interesting. So
Yeah.
chapter 22, it kind of plays into our prediction. So
Yeah.
the venom, they take it out, it kind of breaks free, and it's Mira, Brennan, and Violet all together. And I think that this combo is what's going to be needed to capture the venom, because Mira has like
Yeah.
wards, and she does actually end up using her wards in chapter 42. Brennan can mend them, and Violet maybe doesn't kill, because like Jack came back from her lightning strike.
True.
It killed him, but he was mended back. So maybe
But
I don't know how that's gonna play into it. Anyways, but yeah.
yeah, but he wasn't killed by her lightning per se. He was killed by a boulder that was like, she was hitting a boulder, and the boulder got loose and was hitting Jack Barlow. That's how he died, or like not died at the
Okay.
end. Yeah. It wasn't the light,
Right.
the lightning, because we learned at the end of the book of Fourth Wing that she actually killed a venom with her lightning. So that's possible.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. It's the three of them. She can shield, he can mend, and she can, like Violet can defend in that sense. So it's perfect combination. Yeah. Or attack. No. Mira defends,
it's a great combo.
Violet attacks, Brandon heals. It's like the perfect squad for war.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of chapter 42, there's like a little that little like from the books. It says that Mira has the ability to like extend wards, but unless she has a really heightened emotional response, she cannot create her own wards.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew as soon as they said this that the venom was gonna try and kill them, and that Mira was gonna magically extend her wards, which she did. So she extended her wards just around Violet and Brennan, and everyone else like on that field died.
Yeah.
Like, they did not get out. And then this whole fighting scene was chaotic. Like, they're all fighting the venom. Violet throws a dagger at him, right? And then it's raining, and the rain hits the water. Happening. The lightning, she uses lightning, and it hits the water, right? And then he dies. I was like, okay, so that's how she kills the venom. I was like, okay, this was like a chaotic fight scene, whatever's going on. And Karis is obviously impressed. He was like, "This is excellent. I love this whole show. Like, this is exactly what I wanted in my gladiator like ring."
Yeah. In his
Right?
little show of freaks.
Yeah, he's like watching there what's going on. He's like, "Oh, this is so good. I paid for this."
Do you
And
know how I imagine him? Like how I picture him, like the guy from what's his name from Hunger Games, the moderator that's like super quirky and like yay,
yeah,
and just enjoying the deadly show.
this is great. This is amazing. I love it. I get to see all these signets in work. So, after
Yeah.
Violet kills the venom, she's like,
Mm-hmm.
Karis is like, "This was excellent. I will give you an offer that like you can't pass up, which is um for her loved ones to live on this island that Navarians aren't supposed to go to, but whatever. He's gonna arrange it so her loved ones can live forever on this island, and so she becomes a part of his collection." And I was like, Violet's not gonna take this deal. Like this, he's like, "I'm really good at making offers." I was like, obviously she's not gonna take this deal and let everyone else in Navarre die.
Yeah. It was a weird deal.
So,
I don't know, like.
and I was like,
So he says he can see what people want. She wants peace, and then he offers her only peace
yeah,
for herself and Xaden. It's just she obviously wants peace for the whole country and place. So I don't know, like that was just a weak ass offer. If you
yeah.
ask me, like I thought he was coming up with something that she really can't say no to. But was like, oh, okay, I can say no to that too. It's like, moving on. Yeah.
Yeah, moving on. Chapter 43.
Mm-hmm.
Then he offers like this other deal. So the deal is they can have the luminary, but they're gonna take the flyer cadets and they're gonna train them at Eurasia.
Mm-hmm.
So the flyers are coming to Eurasia.
Yep.
The problem is the flyers cannot get to Eurasia without walking because they can't fly high enough to go over the mountains. So the plan is they're gonna hike up this treacherous path that was designed to kill them.
Yep.
I was like, this is kind of like their parapet, I guess.
Yeah.
Or whatever. This is their gauntlet, as we would say.
Yep.
And the riders are coming with them. So they're all gonna do this bonding hike, like parapet, I guess.
Yeah.
And they're gonna hike up the mountain and get into Eurasia and start training.
Yep.
And we kind of learned that we get some gossip on this hike. So on this hike, I think it's Serena is best friends with Catriona.
Yeah.
And she's like not that mad that Xaden's not with Catriona anymore because Catriona's like, she's like, they had a toxic relationship. I thought that's funny.
It was funny, yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
okay.
Okay, this is interesting. Okay, good. And so like they're bonding, they're going on this hike, they're bonding, they're going over these hard things. The Griffins are having a hard time hiking up there.
Yep.
Riddick is shot.
Wait.
Okay, so they go through a trap, is what I understand.
Yeah.
No,
Not
so
really. Like they tried to like skip the trap. Like Dain was waiting there and warning people. So there's like this little piece of path they can't touch.
Yeah.
So they have to jump over it. And I think everybody manages.
Yeah.
And there's like Violet and this girl. I think her name was Luella or something. And they're both like too tiny to jump.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And Violet manages to do it.
Yeah.
Like Riddick, no, who came up with a solution? I don't know, Riddick or Sawyer, but like with the dagger in the wall. And then Luella was jumping, but she jumped too short, and then she triggered the trap, and that's how Riddick ended up with arrows in his abdomen. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad though. So like,
yeah.
Luella, first of all, Violet fails to save Luella.
Oh yeah, she dies. Right? True.
Like,
yeah.
Like she was trying to holding Luella, and then she doesn't have the strength to like help her get out of it, and then she falls, sets off the trap. Riddick gets shot by arrows, which is really sad. And so they call for Brennan to come mend Riddick.
Yeah.
Like Riddick's dying. It's like chaotic, right? So they need Brennan to come help Riddick. Catriona is pissed because she lost her friend to the trap, and she blames Violet for this. But Violet's like, I'd never had her, like I couldn't pull her up.
Yep.
And then this is chapter 44. Like to me, like you can come in here at any point because this is kind of chaotic in my mind.
Okay.
During this time, a wyvern shows up.
Yes, he was snapping for the do you say carcass of like the dead griffin? Because Luella died, her griffin died, and the griffin was on the edge of this cliff, whatever, already dead. And then she suddenly saw like this jaw popping out of the clouds and snapping for the griffin. So this is how I understood it, and I was like, oh, okay, wyvern came out of nowhere. And then then they realized, okay, we can't stay on this path. So everybody was moving on, except for Violet, Brennan, and what's his name again? Riddick, because he was mending him. And then Violet, it was actually chaotic, really. So Violet got to turn and was trying to, I don't know what she was trying at first. Like she was trying to make the clouds thinner so she can see them and they can fight them. But then again, she changed her tactics and was making whoever had the power of wind to make the clouds go away from the path, because she wanted to use the clouds as a conduit, so the other people on the path don't get electrocuted by her power. So that's what she did then at the end. She was using the clouds, didn't know how many wyverns were there, but like she was using her power on the clouds, and the clouds were like acting as a conduit and going to all the wyverns, and I think then they all died. And this is what happened. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's how I understood her really weird plan.
Yeah, no, that sounds right. That sounds right. Yeah. Yeah. It worked. The wyvern died.
Yeah.
Then we learned about a hatchling being born in Erasia. So energy is, I didn't know this, energy is released when a hatchling is born. Yeah. So it's kind of like a beacon.
Yeah, like a beacon.
Of power being released.
Yeah.
And then, and they were kind of worried about, it like drawing people to them, I think.
Yes, because everybody in 4-hour flight radius would feel that power, just like they did on the mountain, which means that the wyvern also know, which means that the venom that are connected to the wyverns, they can also like see and feel, and I think see and feel what the wyverns see and feel. So they also know now that a hatchling was born, and they know where they are now because there is a dragon, obviously. So summa summarum of all this chapter now is that the Venons know where they are, like at least a radius, like not exactly where I think, but like a radius of, okay, this is where dragons are hiding, which makes it interesting. So what will happen next? Will they attack? Will they not attack? I don't know.
They need wards. The other interesting thing is that the hatchling chose to be born there. Like, I guess it can decide when it wants to be born. So
what, really?
It chose it was okay with being born in Erasia. Yeah.
Oh.
It said, like, I think Taryn said, like, it chose.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Interesting. And then chapter 45, also, like, feel free to come in. Venom. So we learned that Venom are taking Romeos as new recruits. So sometimes if you fail at getting a griffin, you might be willing to actually become a venom to get power. Because they want power. Like they didn't manage to become a flyer, so they would rather become a venom than be nothing.
Yeah.
Like not be magical. Then Ratio has become a refuge for. Oh yeah, sorry.
No, I'm just saying it's interesting that the Venons and this whole, let's say, dark magic district acts like its own recruiting academy. I don't know, like Basket has it, like the riders are their own, the flyers are their own, and suddenly like the dark side is also an academy recruiting students. So it's interesting that this is kind of like people also go there voluntarily. I don't know. It's a cool fact.
Yeah. Very interesting. Raisha has become a refuge for rider families.
Mm-hmm.
So the families of those who fled Basgaya are starting to arrive. And we start to learn about Tirish runes. Runes?
Yeah. Yeah. It's just such a complicated topic. Like, I still don't get them. Do you?
They're like magic.
Yeah.
They're like a drawn magic, is what I get. I'm kind of confused why they're not taught if they're useful.
I mean, they're explaining it because they're scared of it, that people, like some students might be too good at this. You mean Basket, right? That they get too good at runes and then they might use it against the leadership. So I guess that's the only reason why they banned it.
Yeah, but it's still like losing a magic.
True.
And then like the rune learning is not going that well. Like people are like they're like doing it at, I imagine, like a big area because like you can it's like power, I guess, and like if you use it wrong it can mess you up.
Yep.
And then anything else you want to add to that, or?
No, that was, I think, just like a info chapter. Just, that's it.
Chapter 46, we learn about the unlocking rune on the dagger. So that's how Violet was able to get out of what is it? What was that training called? RTC or something?
RSC.
When she was being RSC, yeah, when they were being interrogated.
Yeah.
So they had an unlocking rune on the dagger, and that's actually how she was able to get out of the wards.
Yep.
And we learned that Liam's family was one of the last few that was actually really good at warding.
Yeah.
Or using runes, sorry.
His mom. Yeah.
Like his mom. Yeah, his mom was really good at it. So I wonder if
Sloan?
Yeah.
Sloan, yeah.
Sloan.
Her sister?
Sloan.
His sister?
I wonder if she's good at it. Do you think she knows?
I think I was about to say that. I think we had the same idea right now that she might be either she knows or she will become like her mom, a rune. How do you call it? Even like a rune maker? I don't know. Maybe that's her destiny.
Yeah, rune wielder. I don't know.
Yes, rune wielder.
Rune wielders. So yeah, I think that's her gonna be her contribution to the rebellion. She's gonna know runes really well. And then can you explain this whole they gave runes to the children of the rebellion because they knew that the parents were gonna be burned by dragon fire? Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
Like what happened there? So like they
yeah, so that's what I mean. Like, I don't get the runes at all. Like, the way I understood this was they were getting those runes in the stones, and they have to have it with them all the time. So they did when they were executed, and then when when their parents were executed, I think something triggered the stone or the rune, and that's why the protection transferred from the stone into the what is it called, into the children as their like markings they have on like the tattoos they have. So this is actually protection runes from the stone. Like, did I understood that's wrong? But that's why he says he still likes to keep it even though it's useless. Yeah.
That's what I was kind of confused about. So General Melgren's dragon, I thought gave them the relic, but are you saying that the relic actually ended up being like a protection?
Yeah. Maybe they were just lying to them so they don't know. First of all, it makes sense actually when I think about it, because if they say what the relics are on the marked ones, they would have to explain also what runes are. But since they want to hide runes, they're just saying, hey, this is the relic we gave them, and the marked ones are not allowed to talk about it, otherwise they get executed or whatever. And that's also the reason why Malgren can't see the outcome, because the relic on them is actually a protection and, protecting against things like that. This is how I understood. Maybe, I don't know.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think you're right. I didn't consider that they were lying. They are lying. Like that's happening. They're lying to
Definitely.
them. That actually that's why Malgren can't see them.
Yeah.
It's a lie. Malgren can't see them. And it's like this big conspiracy, but they actually have protection runes on them.
Yep. And I don't think it's when they're
very smart,
like 3 or more. I think he can't. Or maybe they. I don't know. Anyway, he's lying. Definitely lying.
No, I think you're right.
What?
I think you're right. I think like the 3 more might be right, but I think actually maybe he can't see any of the rebellion children.
That's what I was about to say.
Okay.
I think he can't see any of them.
You're right on this one. Definitely. Then they're pissed that the riders and flyers are not getting along.
Yes.
So next up we have mixed groups of riders. Like the next 15 chapters.
What?
Okay. Still hear me?
Yeah, I can
sorry,
hear.
your video went away. Okay.
No.
So I think like the next 15 chapters will be riders and flyers together.
Yeah.
Obviously. But then okay, I'll just finish chapter 46 and we can talk about what we think the next 15 chapters will be.
Yes.
We learned that Xaden trained both Catriona and Violet.
Awkward.
And I was like, oh, this is funny. Like, I'm so awkward when I thought about it. I was like, ooh, think about Violet's training, but now it's someone else.
It was very, like, body to body close up.
It's kind of weird. I'm not a fan of this whole, like, ex-girlfriend and girlfriend being together.
Yeah.
It's just not, like, a good dynamic.
It's weird. It's just weird. And
awkward.
Obviously.
It's weird. I would think it's weird.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it will.
It's not like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was just about to say that it will probably get weirder that they will maybe end up liking each other. I hope not, because that's just wishful thinking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is not a normal, like, it's okay. I would get it if Catriona was like his like first girlfriend from like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
But if it was his last girlfriend, and if it was during second year, like we don't really know when it was, but if it was during second year and it was his last girlfriend, awkward.
Yep.
Too new. Too soon after the breakup to be friends with the ex.
Absolutely agree. It's getting just super, super awkward at this point.
Uncomfortable. Violet wasn't with Xaden, it'd be fine. They could be friends. But she is with Xaden, and I'm like, weird.
Yep.
Weird.
Anyway, what do you think will happen from now on? Like, we're reading the last 20 chapters now, so what are your predictions?
I have no idea. Like, too much is gonna happen. So, like, I'm guessing one chapter, the riders and flyers bond. They're just gonna bond really quickly.
Yeah.
And what is the fight gonna be? Like, what is the main takeaway from this one? So last time we learned about Wyvern and Venom.
Yeah.
This one, I don't know what it's. I think the wards. It has to be the wards, right? Like getting the wards up.
Yeah. Like getting the wards up, and then you think a fight about getting the wards up, or what?
No, I'm guessing. Okay, like let's take this prediction. The Venom attack, Aricia.
Yeah.
And then during this attack, they're trying to get the wards up. So they get the wards up, and then the attack, they go away, and then that will end the book.
Ah. Okay. I'm just writing it down. Wait.
Right? Like,
so
it's gonna be something suspenseful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and then the Venants have to like get up, like come up with something, like some new ideas. Yeah, like that. I think that sounds very,
Yeah.
very plausible for Rebecca Yarros to write. What else is going on there? Do you think we'll find out like a new signet, for example, from, because Violet still needs a new signet from Adarna, and Sloane. We don't know Sloane's signet from her dragon yet. Do we know Arik's?
Yeah. No.
Right? So
I don't think so.
I guess we get some signets.
I don't think we'll get the Adarna signet.
Okay. Oh, and let's see if our prediction gets right with Arik or anybody. I think the prediction that anybody is going to be a traitor in the group is true. Like Basgayat has a spy. It's just a question who.
All right.
Yeah. Interesting. Let's see.
Okay. So we have 15 more chapters. Like, stay tuned if any of our predictions come true. Thanks for listening to this one. So the last episode, we were not a fan of the book. I think we're coming around a little bit.
Yeah.
Because there was more action happening. We have this Catriona Violet crossover, a Rider Flyer crossover, which I think we needed. So the last 20 chapters, what do you have in store for us, Rebecca? Are you going to leave us on a cliffhanger? Probably, most certainly.
100%.
So 100% there'll be a cliffhanger at the end of this. So thanks, guys, for listening, and tune in next week for the next episode, the wrap up of Iron Flame.
Definitely. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube or on Spotify if you're listening. And yeah, see you next week for the very last chapters of Iron Flame. Bye.